you gotta act like you're having a conversation.
Did y'all block him already? Oh no.
All right, I'm about to block him then. Yeah, like how old do y'all be? Yeah. All right, I'll block him. Block
Blocked him. Yeah. I'm just
you.
gonna start blocking these people from my account too, so they can't come in my life with the same stuff.
Sounds like yeah. These are like why do weak ass East Africans? They ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Um, does that mean no? You can claim to be black. Like does that mean I can claim to be black now? No, shut your bitch ass up. What's up, Tyra? Y'all had to excuse my language for this live because I do not care. I'm Blackfoot and you ain't well come up here, Rambo. You're Blackfoot from where? Hey, what's up, cousin Pat? Chamo Gabo. Two potential issues. Message. What? Six syntax error. Let me blah blah blah. Fix all. Southeast United States. You're a Blackfoot from the Southeast United States. Muted. Like, stop playing with me. Block, muted. Like, I'm not wasting no time with these people no more. It's gonna get to a point where we ain't gonna have no trolls in here, I guess. Tap the screen, y'all. Tap the screen. Yeah, don't act like Bush Boogies on my panel today.
Yeah, it's 7 p.m. and I ain't eat I ain't eat today.
That's why we. Who else can I invite?
Don't be like me, y'all. Don't be like me. I'm gonna get some food. Y'all know when y'all sit there, and you're hungry, but then the
What's up,
hunger
KJ?
away. The hunger
I
goes
see.
away after a minute, so you don't eat.
Where you been at, KJ? Where you been at? Yeah, I was in middle child. I'm gonna just add how much usage do I have for this thing, dude? I only have 55, like 57 messages left. Wow. All right, start new message. Create new message. What's up? All right, who's in the request? All right. Yo, come on, man. All these errors, bro. Like, what is going on? She must she doing something with direct messages. New chat. Listen to your file. And tap the screen, yo.
Tap, tap, tap. I'm cooking, but tap the screen.
Yeah, request up if y'all want to. Create. Make sure I use for direct messages.
That's what they doing. So it's the stupidity of them to be that ignorant. Is it makes them look bad in the, in all reality. Don't let them people get under your skin like that, man.
And I'm not living off like
I don't want you to
biscuits.
waste that type of energy on them people. Don't
Right.
waste it.
I'm not going like
I
I'm
don't
not
think any of us should anymore
Yeah,
because they're
it's
not going
coming
to
to a
change.
close. Yeah, it's coming to a close. You got so many so-called Native American tribes that's now opening up to the real American Indian because they know they at the end of their ropes.
What? What do you mean?
Muskogee Creek and the Cherokee are not the only people that's opening up their roads.
Wait, what do you? Can you explain that more? What are they opening up?
They open up their tribal roads.
Oh, to who? To us?
If you a part of their tribe,
Wow. Wow. When did that happen?
well, the Muskogee Creek just won theirs last week. The Cherokee came out about a couple of weeks ago,
Oh,
and
yeah, it's that immigration.
it's a few others. Yeah, that's soon you'll probably be seeing in the newspaper. They'll open up their roads.
That is so interesting. So what they're gonna have is a lot of white tea people.
No,
You don't think so?
listen, if they don't the lineage, because they're doing their genealogy, you got to show your genealogy to get in the tribe. If you don't have the lineage, you're not getting in there.
Okay.
That's why the ones that's and talking all this mess is out because they did not have the lineage.
They want to do it after they bankrupt the tribes. Like,
Well, you got to look at it. They did most. No, I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna keep that quiet. But a lot of times it wasn't all of the Indians or Native Americans getting the money, but
mhm,
but they wrote checks that they have passed could not cash.
mhm,
So it is what it is now.
mhm.
And a lot of our people own land. And that's another reason why they and that's another once they get in there, that land becomes the tribe's land. And that's what they need to be careful of. It is a catch a tribe. And that's what they need to be careful of.
I like to hear more of what you're saying. He said that they're opening it up, true, but as descendants of mixed Africans, don't agree with that. But I want to know what he's talking about.
Still think that we're African slaves and we was
No,
that.
no, I know that, but if
Mhm.
he's admitting that they're opening it up and he's stating it that it just doesn't make sense. Like I would like for him to explain that.
That they've been opening up their registration for people to come in.
No, the way he said it seemed like he knows something, but he's saying it in a derogatory way.
Let me say they are opening up to you, true, but as descendants of mixed Africans. John, let's correct that. What's going on is you guys, because you're so desperate, you guys have been opening up your roles to try to now accept so-called Black Americans in. Y'all accepting us now, but y'all been denying us. Y'all been saying this, and that. Y'all want to try to say, oh, these are African slaves. We're not African slaves. Most of the ones they labeled as African came from Cuba, the West Indies, North and South America, Europe. I mean, so yeah. To be honest with you, you guys are very desperate. I'm so sorry that you're seeking our help now to try and keep these reservations in honor by putting us in there because we're the true land. We're the land. Y'all got a piece of land that the government gave y'all or leased to y'all for their construct and their fraud. But now all that's being exposed, and Trump getting rid of y'all too. Just get ready, pack your bags. You're ready to go right back over that bridge to Siberia. We don't want to get in there. We're gonna just get y'all out because y'all on our land too. Y'all gotta go. How's that? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, and he said that he didn't mean it to be disrespectful. If you took it that way, keep it moving. I really hear his point though, because I feel like, because my thing is why would they open it up to? Oh, I guess he's trying to say they're mixed with Native American.
I don't think that this. I feel like this is what critical race.
He said something about African.
Whoa, yo, what? Like, come up and introduce yourself. Where's your manners at? Yeah.
You jumped up like.
Why do y'all just jump on a panel and start speaking and cutting people off?
What you got to say is
right. What is wrong with y'all? Huh?
I'm sorry, I have no house.
They don't have no home training.
Yeah, we can.
No home training, no manners.
Yeah, I raised myself.
Hey, Choctaw, watch your fucking mouth, Choctaw.
I raised myself.
You ain't talking like that off the reservation, nigga. So shut the fuck up. Like who y'all think y'all talking to? Like, who do y'all think y'all talking to?
Oh, wow.
1 second. Stop coming off the mic while I'm speaking. Like, who do y'all think y'all be talking to?
Oh wow, this is what
like
you're
somebody
doing.
I'm talking like to get your bitch ass off my panel then. Like someone will knock y'all in y'all fucking teeth in real life. Like, fuck is wrong with these people?
Ignorant. Pure ignorance. I guess they ain't learned much at the Indian training schools. It didn't teach them manners. Bro, they ain't get enough on that end.
The screen.
Touch screen, yeah.
Different background.
Maybe. I don't know. People starting to come in now. Choctaw brought his bitch ass in here. Yeah. I ain't got beat up in school. Ain't nobody beat me up in school. You couldn't even prove it. I'm still food cooking. But yeah, get Choctaw weak ass out of here. I'm blocking him, actually. I don't want to hear, nobody want to hear from your ass.
Have y'all ever seen the movie Night at the Museum?
Yeah.
I heard of it. I
Look
never
like the guy that played the Han Man.
I heard of it.
Who got bullied in school, Jay? Come up here. Come say it to me. That article is old. Yeah, it is.
He probably talking about.
Yeah.
I meant they invite you to the reservation.
Yeah.
I meant they invite you to the reservations now under false pretense, descendants of African mixed. The interesting thing about that Black Hawk is they're doing it for a reason, and that really should make you all question and wonder why. Because you know that they'll tell us anything, but you have to kind of dig to find the truth.
Oh, old man. Who's the old man talking to? Oh, Choctaw. Yeah, Choctaw. Fuck yeah. I didn't block it and moved on. Like, I don't really care. Choctaw doesn't bring no value to nothing. So
he doesn't. He's so annoying and he's so deceptive. But there's overwhelming evidence. Like there's just too much information to ignore now of us being here. And I don't know why people keep ignoring it. They should be asking questions too. Asking questions if I was one of these other people.
They're not suing who is that? John Smith. what an alias. It says you saying that they're suing. They're not suing. What it is they're opening their enrollment. Let's say that. That's what they call it. They're opening their enrollment into their reservation camps, right? They saying, oh, we're opening our arms to you so-called Black Indians. But mind you, they've been telling us we not Indians, this and that, blah, 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 for the longest. They've been battling us, we fake Indians, all this. But now they're opening the doors to give us some type of, hey, come on in, join us. They need us, just like anybody else. Just like the Mexicans, when they were fighting, they were trying to get us to come down so they could blame it on us. They always need us for something. Our energy is always needed for anything going on. So now, since they're getting ready to be booted and Trump is coming down on everybody, all this stuff that's been going on, what they're trying to do is pull us in so we're part of that nation. And then now they can have some type of standing with us. but we
Yeah,
don't want to go.
but
We want them to go.
what this guy down here is saying is he keeps saying the term black or African slaves. So it makes me feel like that whole thing is just a trick. And so if anyone
Yeah.
does explore that, they really need to read the fine print. Because it might be a classification that they're not being told up front.
No, it is. That's the thing. They're trying to pull them in, and then that they're going to say that they're African descendants, which is more going into the slavery narrative. That's what they're trying to push. But they're still trying to say, remember, they're trying to say the African Americans is us. So they know, though, even though they're saying African American is the real, oh, you African slaves, y'all come on in, but they know it's the real Indian, the ones that would have, you know what I'm saying? They know what's going on.
Especially that word mixed, because that's a small acknowledgement when no one wanted to acknowledge any part of that at all.
Thing is, how you gonna have slaves and you can't feed yourself?
Well, I mean, by that point, they had already made a plan with the government.
Yeah, but still, if you look at half of their I mean, let's think about it. To be like that back then, because they still have not been able to grow their own food.
I think it got degraded, honestly, and it's sad. Really, who they are and they just really need to stop because it's doing them a huge disservice. A huge disservice.
It's the thing. If they knew how to take care of stuff, it should have been being done all these years.
No, I know. I'm talking about their Siberian roots.
Yeah, it should have never gotten to this point. If they knew how to till this land and to heal the land, they would have been doing that stuff. They would have been had their own everything. They wouldn't have need the government for anything. They wouldn't have, because they would be able to sustain on their own. But they're not.
They need to get back to their ancestors.
What's up, Alexa? What's up, Lady Luke? Who's in the request? Who's Carl the King, dude? Yo, where you from? What's your ethnicity?
Talking to me?
Yes.
I'm from Minnesota, and I'm white.
YT. Say YT.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. YT.
Now that's a YT. I don't know what that other dude was, but he's a YT.
I mean, not to hop in your guys' discussion, but that's crazy, bro. Your point there. The Black Americans suing to reclaim their Native American identity. What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they sued to reclaim their identity. Yes.
How? Catch me up to speed. Like, how do you find that fair? How do you find that? What's the logic behind that?
How do I find it fair that they have to sue to reclaim their identity?
Well, Black Americans are not Native American.
We're not.
We then. What are we?
We're not.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the thing.
What are Black Americans? Answer that question.
Black Americans are, I mean, as far as my understanding, again, could be limited, could be wrong. I've been imported here against their will.
Let them finish.
I'm really trying to learn here. So as far as my understanding, which could be wrong, there was no Black Americans in America. There was only Native Americans, right?
Yeah, they weren't Native Americans until what year was it that they were classified as that?
1900s.
1900s. Okay. Yeah, they weren't Native
1970s.
Americans either.
Mm-hmm. Can you explain to me though how this makes sense to you in your mind?
Yeah. So basically, before Columbus got here, our
Mhm.
ancestors were already here, and it's documented. It's all over the place. I mean, you would literally have to be blind and deaf not to see it if you're looking. That
Sorry,
is.
not to interrupt you, but can you explain that to me? Because I am blind, and again,
Well, you,
explain it to me like
if you search, that's what I mean. If you search, the information is all over, especially all over TikTok for sure, because
yeah.
there's so many people doing research. Um, but yeah, our ancestors were here before
Native
colonialists got
Americans.
here. No, they weren't called Native Americans. They were called Indians. They were called a couple of different terms, but they were
Right.
Indians was one of the prominent ones. And then over generations, our ancestors were forced to drop their tribal names or their
Oh, so
clan names. Yeah, and then we were reclassified several times, and
okay.
yeah, and so
So are
that's
you saying, I don't know your identity at all, but are you saying that Black Americans are Native Americans or synonymous terms?
Dude, you
Or,
heard what you just said, dude. Did you hear
oh,
what you just said?
again, I'm trying to make it make sense in my mind. Like,
well,
She's not
Native
saying Native
I don't
Americans.
know
American.
her ethnicity. I don't know if she's a Native American. I know she's a Black American.
No, Native Americans are a different group of people than Indians. They're a completely different, separate group.
See, this is
So
new to me.
the original Americans were our ancestors. Now, some of us have different because we all research. Most of us do anyway. That you'll see in this topic, and some of us have different information. I haven't debunked the Mongoloid part, but I know for sure we were here. I know that for sure. And if they were here, they were a separate group. If they were here.
I'm sorry.
But I
Can you
have to
say?
let my brothers and sisters talk about that because I don't
Yeah,
have
yeah, no.
information on that
I
part.
really appreciate you guys too telling me about this because I didn't know any of this stuff. It's cool. It's cool to hear.
All right. What's up, Ish? What's up? You got a smoke show?
OCO, peace, David. How you doing today? How everybody doing this evening?
Peace.
Good to see you. Did they answer the question that you had about what that post was about? Did they answer it for you?
No, really, I didn't get the conclusion here. Like, I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around this. So, Black Americans suing to reclaim their Native American identity.
I'll be happy to explain it to you.
Yes, thank you.
Uh-huh. So the picture that you see on there, she's a member of what's called the Muskogee Creek Nation, right?
Yes.
Now, the Muskogee, they own slaves. They were one of the 5 slave-owning tribes that moved to Oklahoma, and she lives in Oklahoma. Are you with me so far?
Where's she from?
She's from Oklahoma. Are you with me so far?
Yeah, I'm with you so far, but you're saying Oklahoma enslaved their own people?
I'm saying that the Muskogee Indians own slaves, and they live in Oklahoma. Are you with me so far?
I'm with you now.
What year was that?
Well, they've owned the slaves since the 1800s.
Okay.
So they moved to Oklahoma, and they used to have full citizenship rights. That's what they used to have. And in the year 1979,
That is so fucked up, bro.
it is, right? It is.
That is a little fucked up, yeah.
In 1979, they altered their constitution and they removed all of the slave descendants from their nation. Okay.
Okay.
So then they had to sue to be back included into that. And they sued the Muskogee Nation and they won their court case yesterday. So that's what the article is about. Okay.
It's a interesting story. But Carl, just for the record, what he just explained is not the same thing I was explaining.
2 different things.
2 different things.
About
Yeah.
400 years apart.
I'm explaining what that picture is because that's what your question was.
No, thank you
Yeah, I
for
know.
thank you for explaining both the things. For me, it just my background in history just I never knew this, so it's interesting to learn a different perspective on it, I guess, and maybe that's the truth, you know? I mean, it is the truth.
Well, we all got screwed over in the educational system. Everyone was taught lies. But if you dig though, you'll find it. It's there.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, I think, the winners write history, right? So I just get a little nervous about that.
American history is so interesting.
I can explain your situation. All right, hold on. Let smoke show finish.
It's just very interesting. It has to do with a lot of different clashes of culture, people
Smoke show.
immigrating here. We have a lot of it is just not really documented properly. Like earlier, I wouldn't say the first African Americans came in the 1400s, maybe around 1625.
Who were the first African Americans? How is someone an African American if they just getting somewhere?
Well, what tribe are you from?
Don't answer my question.
Can you repeat the
I'm not
Who
question?
was
answering the
African
question.
American during? Then why the fuck you say something? Answer my question. I'm the host, so answer my question.
You mind repeating the question again, my friend?
No, not you, Carl. You're all right. Smoke show. Who were African American in 1621, 25? Who were African Americans? Huh?
Those are the people that came here from Africa, the real Africans.
Yeah,
They
no,
came
that's
here
not
from Africa along the spice trade, through the spice route, through Portugal, at sometimes through Europe.
What's up, Monty?
So, Mr. Smoke Show, I have a question for you, sir. You do know
I don't
that
have
they-
all your answers. Go ahead. You can ask me. I'll see if I can do it.
I know we're going to have that conversation. So you do know that Black people came over with the Spaniards in the 1500s, don't you?
I wouldn't. No, I don't think so. Sorry.
You don't think so, or
Well,
you
one
don't
thing,
know?
one
No,
thing for
I
you
knew
to
that.
study,
I knew that. I'm on that. I knew that. He's right.
it's no
Yes.
problem. One thing for you to study are the Black conquistadors that came over with the Spaniards. So it wasn't the 1600s. They came over before. Now, what you also may not know is that there's indigenous populations that have Negroid features, i.e., Black people were already here when the colonizer came to this country.
From South American descent.
No, from here. We were all over the Americas.
You do have Mayans who have the same Negroid features who would look exactly like me. Yes, you do have Mayans that look like that as one of the style of Mayas. Yes.
Of course you did. Definitely.
Right. So,
I agree with you 100%.
You kind of
I
spoke
agree
on
with
this,
you
though.
100%.
Would love to be educated on this. Like, maybe I'm misinterpreting what you're saying, though, but I think it's really cool to hear that, though. Like, you're saying the African population was here beforehand, or am I misunderstanding?
So what you're,
What I'm
let me say
saying-
it like this. The people that they called African were not actually African and were already here. Now, we're not saying that no African people were ever transported. But it was the story was definitely told the wrong way. It's not accurate, and it's definitely not the numbers that they claim. So what's happening is a lot of melanated Americans like myself are doing their genealogy. This started years ago, and they started realizing that they were actually from here and not from Africa.
Really? That's
Yeah,
really
but
cool.
there's so many like layers to the evidence. Like even the
Yeah, like
even when you look into
I know what you're saying.
yeah. So even when you look into that, when you actually understand what it does, it's very deceptive because it doesn't actually give you a full scope of your DNA. It only gives you like a skewed perspective. I forgot how to explain it. I have to study a little bit more, but when you hear it, it's crazy what they do.
We got a talker up here. She's been waiting to speak. Hello, you there?
Sorry.
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Where are you from? What's your ethnicity?
I am from Tennessee, and I did at one time classify myself as African American, and of course I still do. However, upon checking records because of different websites, I decided to do a DNA test on myself, and I started going to the library, and we have a place here that you can go back and check your family, your roots, only to find out that the gentleman that he was an Indian, but he had my family as slaves. And he actually, with my great grandmother. And that is how we all came about. So we are mixed with Cherokee.
Can you, so you did your DNA and then you did your genealogy?
That is correct.
In your genealogy, you found that your family was enslaved by a one of the Cherokee Indians, is that right?
That is right.
Okay, I got you.
And that he was with her. And that's what produced us, I guess you
Oh,
could
that's
say.
only one mixture though. I mean, that's not really, you know, that's like a very small percentage.
Right. But all this time I was thinking my family was from Africa, only to find out
You're from here.
we was from here.
Mm-hmm.
That Cherokee. So when we say it, we're not saying because we're mixed with Native Americans, we're saying that our people were actually from, they look like us, like how we look now. They look like us. They were here. You're already
Yes.
here. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's a story about that too on my side. How they was here. I'm still tracing, and it's phenomenal the things that you read and how they captured them because they needed people to work for them. But
The Native Americans.
the Native Americans.
Okay. But I just want to keep emphasizing that a lot of them were different. They were a different people.
That is true. I understand that.
Yeah.
So, Miss, is that okay if I call you Miss? MIS?
Yes. Yes.
So, well, sorry, Joker, that's a really cool story, but I'm curious. Miss brought up a point that I do some questions about, like, when you say, again, I mean, this is the most respectful possible. It's very difficult for me. When you say that people look like you,
yeah,
is that different than, like, you know, like white people look like me, but they're from different, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's almost like, oh, that's a excellent example. So imagine it was Caucasian people, right? And you found out that you were actually from here. And when you say you're from here, you're not saying that you're mixed with the Mongoloid tribes that are the faces of Native Americans. You're saying you actually traced it back to ancestors that look exactly the way you, your family, and everybody that's classified as white looks today. That's what we're saying. So what happened was, there's a lot of evidence out there, but one of the most starking ones is how the colonists drew and described these people when they came over there. Over here, I'm so sorry, over here. And they did not describe them the way that as the phenotypes of Native Americans are today. They described them like us. They drew them like us, afros, hips, the way we are today, the way people who call Black African Americans here today. That's how they drew these people.
Do you think
Go ahead.
Is the word and again, like, is the word African American, is that a misclassification then?
I think so.
How would you then correct me going forward? Like, how would I go about that?
Somebody else might need to answer that, because honestly, we're trying to figure it out. We're uncovering this truth. So even I am struggling with that. So now I just call myself an American because that's the most accurate term.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. No, it's really cool to hear all this stuff. Appreciate it.
Well, honestly, what I can say, I have pictures of what she looked like, my great grandmother, and she does look every bit of an Indian, but she does have Black features as well.
Yeah, that's pretty fascinating to me. I mean, obviously my background is white European, right? So this is it's pretty fascinating to hear. I mean, Pangea and all that whole deal. I think this is a different thing. It's pretty cool. It's very cool.
That's why I like these panels, because they open my eyes. Because here I was thinking I'm from Ghana or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
And that I was a part of the slave trade from over there, only to find out that I was not. So when people say they are not from Africa, everybody is not. some people was already over here.
Yeah. Hey, Miss.
Hey, y'all. May I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole I call it trick or treat. That's the whole trickery of it. They put the focus because that was engineered. This pan Atlantic, it had nothing to do with the people in the North Americas, the Americas.
Mhm.
That focus should have been the Africans that were taken to Brazil, Portuguese, the Portuguese over on that side. And the one thing that people, the truth is always in the lie. So when they say the oldest continent 300 million years back, and they're talking about humans, not human beings, humans, which equals Homo sapien, which equals the people that took 300 millions of years to basically evolve into a modern human from
Africa.
the predecessors, Neanderthals, hominids, whatever you want to call them, a primate. So those are not the same people. Africans ain't even African because they migrated into this Africa that they call Africa. Before that, the previous name, with some people say Ethiopia with name or Alkebulan, that is shown on the maps to be in the Americas in Ohio. And then you have some European from the Berbers. So many, do they say, it's such a diverse continent. It absolutely is.
Yes.
You have what they call it, I can't pronounce it. Australopithecus, different kinds of Homo sapiens, not just one kind. That's where the diversity comes from. Different humans that evolved into this modern human that you see today. So the distinction, I guess, would be, okay, well, who's actually human that evolved and who actually migrated from another place into this continent called Africa that was actually not even structured. That's where they took the exiles, and that's where the confusion comes in. This is indigenous to Africa. This is indigenous to watermelons. Indigenous to Africa. Watermelons indigenous to the Americas, not Africa. So these empires and the royals and all these things that they talk about, they were talking about the Carthage ancient place, not this new Africa that people had been migrated into. Because that millions of years of
we have new people.
I'm going to land in 1 second, because when they talk about, and they like to use this as a point, some of the Africans are, look at how many people, the continent, blah, 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 of course, because it went from millions, like 3.6 to 1.8 in a short period of time. And that absolutely couldn't have been from procreation. That would have meant that every single woman.
Okay, we have new people on the panel. I don't know who was up here first. So.
Samoan.
Someone was up here first?
Hello, everybody. Foremost. Can you guys hear me?
I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, you're good. Hey, Simone. Go ahead.
Now, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. This is just coming from a different perspective. First and foremost, I want to say, hello to my Melanesian family here. So I am from the island of Samoa, down way, way, way in the South Pacific. And, we tie our genealogical ties back to the island of Fiji, right? Which are Melanesians.
Samoa is so sick. Sorry to
and
you, bro.
We have
Samoa's sick.
What was that?
What did you say?
And your culture, Samoa.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, your culture, by the way, is fucking amazing.
Yes.
Bro. It's fucking beautiful, bro. I love that. I love Samoan culture, bro. It's beautiful, bro. But I'm gonna let you keep going. Sorry to interrupt.
Nah, no worries, no worries. And, thank you. So, speaking of the Americas, now remember that the Pacific Ocean is the largest body of water on the planet. And we navigated like a highway, right? And we have chants that are 3,000 years, before Christ. And, we historically touched the Americas, and there's a tribe of Indians on the Pacific coast, out here on California. It's called the Chumash Indians. What made the Chumash different from the indigenous tribes that were already here, or the indigenous tribes that are here today, is that the lashing of the boats, the canoes, were indigenous to Polynesia, right? So the Chumash Indians, all the Indian tribes that are on the coast, on the West Coast, are different from any other Native American, which we call them First Nation. They call themselves First Nation. But the thing is, they have found bones, like for instance, it's called the Winnewick Man. They found it in Washington. And real quick, they tried to hide the skull because the skull was different from the tribes of the First Nation. The skulls were a lot larger, same size as the Polynesian skull, which has facial features of. If you look at my people when they first came to the islands, we all look like my cousins here on the panel, right? Broad nose, thick hair, but the skull that they found predated the indigenous tribe here.
There's no way.
Right? It predated the bones that were found here. And it predated it by 10,000 years. And right away, the First Nation claimed the skull. They claimed the skull because then.
Did it predate Africa?
Yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to know if you knew if it
Well, that's
predated
just
Africa.
Yes. What it is that it predated everything here. And right away, the First Nation took the skull because they said it was their ancestors. Yet the skull, when it was measured, was by far, different from the skulls that were found here. The oldest skull here was 9,000 years old. And the skull that they found in Winnewick, Washington, predated that.
All right, let me give you
by
mine.
10,000 years. Our ties going all the way back to the original, cloth of Africa. If you trace our genealogy, we talk, and this is just giving you a different perspective, right?
Why do you think, though?
And the Europeans never touched the Pacific because the body of water was too big. They were afraid. The skull is called the Winnewick, from Winnewick, Washington. You can look it up.
I'm gonna look it up.
And you'll be amazed.
Yeah.
That how fast. Yeah, you'll be surprised how fast they took the skull, because then if it predates the original inhabitants of the First Nation, then it would uproot all the claims of the land. It would uproot everything, right?
Well, it does not predate the land.
All from the Olmec.
Question real quick. Can you
What was that?
repeat what you said about the descriptors of how your ancestors looked before they were colonized, and the similarities to people that are called African American here? No, African American here.
Yeah, you can actually pull up.
I have them. I have the photos, but I want you to say
Yeah,
it. 'Cause there are a few people.
we look the same.
I always felt
Can you describe it? Because people say that we make this stuff up.
Well, I always felt like Samoan people.
Hold on, Carl. Let me describe it again real quick.
Like I said, it's in our broad nose, right? Dark skin, hair like wool,
big fucking shoulders.
And it's funny because
big shoulders. Those are fucking ballers.
Yeah, broad shoulders. You know, I used to hear people saying, you know, the only strong people on the planet were fisher and farmers, right? Fishermen and farmers. That's all we were. We were fishermen and farmers.
Thank you so much.
There's nothing but water all around us. No, you're welcome. You're welcome. You know, I always, you know, wanted to try and unify, you know, all of us as family, because we are family. In the Pacific, we always talk, you know, we tell our stories in what we call olis, chants. These chants haven't changed for thousands of years. And it's a genealogical, you know, a genealogical chant that is passed down from village to village, from generation to generation. When the Europeans came to the islands, of course, you know, they divided our body of water into three pieces: one for England, one for France, and one for America.
Oh, fuck those guys.
But the thing is, it didn't change, you know, our chants, our olis, our songs. They didn't bother with us because we were small islands.
I don't mean this question to sound insensitive, but it's like Rock Dwayne Johnson. Is he Samoan?
Yeah. Yes, his mother is Samoan, Ata.
Okay.
Yeah, I know his mom. That's how small Samoa is, right? It's a little dot, but it's very rooted in navigation. You know, when they got out there, and there's no way that these savages could have crossed all the way into the Americas. Yet they found the fish hooks that are our fish hooks. We're the only ones that use whalebone, you know, for macos, what we call hooks. We're the only ones who who made outrigger canoes, not dugout canoes, but outrigger.
That's
and
really
they found the outrigger canoes in the Chumash. And then going all the way down to Mexico, the Olmec are like tikis for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Olmec that they found in Mexico, the head is thousands of tons, right? Thousands of pounds. It's the same thing as our tikis that are on Easter Island, right?
Oh, those are your shit?
We made them out of stone. We made them out of basalt.
That's so cool.
What was that?
That's
your language, Carl.
Sorry.
Watch
That's
your language.
I didn't know Easter Island was.
Yeah. So we've been on the coast for umpteens amount, and of course, you know, traveled inward. But we brought with us our plants, and you know, they thrived here on the West Coast.
I have a question for you.
We brought umala,
When you
we
described
brought
earlier,
taro, bananas, you know, and then we brought our version of the pigs, which were the boars.
so I have a question.
Right. We didn't have this.
Were you trying to say Winnewick man? Is that what you were trying to say earlier?
Winnewick with a W.
Okay, so Winnewick,
It's named after Winnewick, Washington.
okay. And for the Winnewick man, what is the date that they give to that particular school?
10,000 years before the eldest.
Date are you dealing with?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I just left it alone because we've been up here on the coast for
ages.
Ages. You know, all the way to Alaska. You know, they found our bones and our language. The tongue hasn't changed. You know, I mean, it's evolved, but the language is still intact.
So the question still stands. What date are you attributing to that skull, sir? You have an answer.
I don't know. Like I said,
That's important to know.
y'all gonna have to look it up.
So don't you think it's kind
Y'all
of
gonna have to. It's on there. Just Google it.
And
And
Google
it'll
is
come
a
up.
liar
It's called
as
the
well.
Winnewick man.
I think it's kind of also,
But yeah, you have to be careful. That's another thing.
We've been
That you have to
ignorant.
be careful for the source, right?
Coming up
But
at Winnewick, not Winnewick. I can't find Winnewick.
Here, I'll put it up.
Throw it in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But you know, and this is just what we call, you know, mo'olelo, right? This is our legends that we pass down and we tell our kids. Like
Oral history.
I'm born and raised here in California. But the thing is, my grandmother was born in 1895.
in Hawaii.
We brought her here from Samoa. She lived with us until 1992, her passing. Never to bring anyone in our house because they wouldn't understand. My grandmother during a time was, you know, raised and born topless. I mean, they were topless when the Europeans came. So of course,
So you have an
one,
oral
not bring anyone in
history?
the house.
Excuse me, you have an oral history?
What was that?
Yeah.
You have an oral history.
Yes.
Mm.
And it doesn't change. It's kind of like, what is the most sung song on the planet? Happy Birthday. The harmony, the melody doesn't change, right?
Oh,
Only
that's so cool.
the
Yeah,
language, but
you're right.
it doesn't change. That's
Well,
how our
we have our history is written. That
Yeah.
was hidden
It's not no
in
competition,
the
right?
Smithsonian, buried in
Yeah.
the Library of
Yes.
Congress. We have a written history. You can find the truth in all of the
Right.
lies, and the bones found here
Yeah.
go back to in the
Mhm.
mounds.
Yeah.
In the mounds, they were in the mounds. Those bones found going back to the paleo ancestors, go back to, like you said, BC, go back past just the mounds alone,
Yeah.
5,000 BC.
Right.
Respectfully, let's walk that back because I'm not finding anything with Winnewick whatsoever.
Yeah. Hang on a second, guys. Let me look it up real quick, and then I will type it in.
It might be, Q said it was Kennewick.
This is just to give the panel a different perspective.
Well, either
Right. And this is coming from the West Coast side
the skull exists or the skull doesn't.
of the
Oh,
Americas,
he's right though. Like I remember that learning that history.
right? I mean, this is just giving a different perspective coming from the West Coast side of the continent.
What's your what do you feel like is your land though?
It goes from,
Like Philippines or Hawaii or
what was it?
you don't want to sound insensitive, but like
No. Samoa is Samoa. I mean,
where is that?
Samoa?
Yeah, it's not a country, no?
The whole
Are you
Solomon
asking-
Islands, right?
Yeah, it's an island in the Pacific, but it is the oldest, one of the oldest islands. Samoa and Tonga are the oldest. I hate saying Polynesian
Yeah, no, I get
because that's their word. That's not our word. We are. I mean, in all of the Pacific, we consider ourselves Kanaka or Moana. The movie Moana.
I
of
know
course,
the
but
movie.
we are the people of the ocean,
Dude, that's why you brought up the
right?
Facebook.
We are the people of the ocean. Yeah, but we traced our oral history traveling all the way down, from Africa to Southeast Asia, all the way down to Madagascar, into Fiji, from Fiji to Samoa and Tonga, from Samoa and Tonga.
From Africa.
There was a long pause for 1,000 years.
Yeah, everyone came from Africa.
But Africa wasn't even Africa that
Yeah.
long ago.
It's Pangea.
No, this
No,
is
no,
after
it wasn't.
Pangea.
It
This
wasn't.
is-
But that's where, yeah,
yeah, people
yeah.
go to
But
Pangea.
that's where my
I'm not
cousins
saying
from
you're doing
Papua
that
New
wrong,
Guinea and the Solomon Islands.
but people like to go to Pangea to
What was that?
sophistication of the groups of people that existed. Pangea was a long time ago.
Right.
But I mean, the Samoan people, bro, like
Yeah.
that was a long time ago too.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, this is just in our oral, right? Like you said, I mean, this is just our mo'olelo.
What
This
was
is
the
just
word
our
you
Did
used?
you
our
get the
chants that are
spelling
just
right
passed
of
down.
Did you get the spelling right of the? You
Yeah.
said would that be?
Winnewick.
Yeah.
What was the word you used, my friend? That was like the first people, or
Where?
We're
Here?
gonna find out what Winnewick is.
no? The Samoan guy, he used a
He said First Nation.
yeah. I think that was the word he used.
Yeah, he did say First Nation. I don't know what he was talking about though. I think he was talking about the Americas.
Yeah, I gotta get out of here. But God bless. It's nice talking to you guys.
Sure, Carl. Thanks for coming.
You also.
Have a good day, guys.
Shalinia, we knew he was white tea.
Learn how to wait his turn to ask a question and not interrupt.
Okay, where's the guy that's supposed to get a name? Is it the one?
Up right now. So yeah, we'll be patient with that because we need to walk that in a little bit.
Yeah. Anybody that has an oral history,
Valid. Because our grandmothers told us who we were. We didn't believe them because we were being indoctrinated in school.
Right. And like I said,
Oral
our history
history.
isn't an oral history because we didn't have a written language.
Well, the native corporations, so-called indigenous natives, is what they call themselves. Now, today they say they're indigenous Indians. Their history is oral, and everything they states, it sounds like fantasy.
Well, they make
They
up stuff.
can't
They
show
lie a lot.
any proof, any documentation about what they say. It's all oral history.
Yeah, but it doesn't completely debunk.
One second. Hold
You
on.
said what?
I said, hold on.
Somebody
Like,
else is talking.
somebody's gonna have to drop for y'all to come up, y'all. Like, y'all ain't gotta, right quick. I ain't, request. Like, what? You see this panel? Like, wait until somebody drops off the panel. Like, I don't know why y'all do that.
David, if somebody want to come up, you could drop me down. Cause
That's what I'm saying. Like, wait till somebody drops off the panel. Show some patience.
But no, what I was saying is, they lie a lot, so we really don't know what their oral history says.
Nah, I only said that because I don't know who you got mods, because I don't know what's going on. People is not explaining anything, but certain people on like certain spaces like your live, DJ live, and stuff like that, people just not picking me up because they got an issue with me, and I don't know what I did. So
folks ain't got the stage is full. When the stage is full, it's full. I'm not, unless I ask somebody to drop for you. Like, just relax.
nah, because I requested before the young lady Jerby came up.
No, she been in the request. She was in the request before.
Because it went on my end, when you request it and it'd be like you the first person to join, and so that's why I'm saying that, because it didn't show like there was somebody already in the request box. So my fault, family.
But yeah,
All
what
right, guys.
I was saying was, as far as the oral history, it's stronger when you can back it up with data.
Yeah.
But definitely not to discount it. I was on a panel. We're gonna let you go in a second, Samoa. After
Yeah.
I was on a panel the other day with I think he was a Pan-Africanist, and I always go up peaceful. I don't like contention at all. And so that's how I approached him. And I wasn't there to debate really. I just wanted to ask him about some of the things he was saying. And then I mentioned, well, what about some of the oral traditions? Because most of us know the tribes we come from our grandmothers telling us who we are. And he said that they were lying. And I was like, you mean all of these women were lying, which was very insulting. But our grandmothers didn't lie to us. They know who we are, and we're finding the proof to back that up now.
Yeah, that's what's so funny. Our grandmothers lied, and there's actual proof written. And you, like I said, you find the truth in the lies, because you can't keep a lie up. Yet they show nothing. They're going by colonizers' history of the world when they weren't here to tell the history. It's just like logic.
But they keep copying us. Like when you said they're starting to call themselves indigenous, they keep copying everything.
And they can never answer a question unless they answer with a question, and then they turn the goalpost and change the subject. It's just like this is just what they do consistently. Change the subject, and then if they get to the low point, then that's when the insults come out, name calling.
Samoa's back.
Okay, are you guys there?
But I've never heard this about
I was gonna
Samoa.
say,
That's why
family.
I wanted-
Yeah, let
a lot of
Samoa
people
go, because he probably want to drop.
Okay.
Actually.
All right. Like I said,
We're here, sir.
all right. So I'm going through my old folders and files. So what it is that I'll find it. But when it comes to oral history, right? Here in Polynesia, here in the islands, our biggest enemy is, to be honest with you, is academia. Because they turn around, they'll take our chants about certain events that happen, and then they say they use the word myths and legends. So anything that we tell them is just a myth or legend because it doesn't correlate with, it doesn't align with whatever their agendas are. But it doesn't change the fact that our chants are still the same chants that we've chanted for thousands of years. It still doesn't change the fact that our history, from the tattooing all the way down to our way of navigation, how we followed, certain patterns in the stars, how we navigated. And they said, without metal, how could you navigate this large body of water, with these little stick tools? Well, those little stick tools, reflected migrational influx of the horizon. And that's how we knew, you don't go this way if the horizon, the contour matches that stick, we know that there's what they call a white gale or a storm in that direction. I mean,
sounds like us.
like I said, everything is subject to criticism, but we've navigated these bodies of waters for thousands of years. I just wanted to come in and let the panel know that one way or another, we are all related. We are all family. Now the debate is, what cloth do we come from? The fact is that we come from the same cloth. It's just been, cut and thrown all over the place, and it's found in different places.
Word we
but
have
nonetheless,
to
it's the
use
same cloth.
very carefully.
And just hold on one second, family. I was gonna say this, right? So we all human beings, yes, but we all do not come from the same ancestors. Okay, your grandmother is completely different from my grandmother's, and everybody else on the panel is the same as well, right? And when we talking about history, when we dealing with this border education system, it's not going to teach us the full scope about history, right? And also another thing is in the 1900s,
Right.
when more of these immigrants came into America, the Dawes Road Act came into play. There was a lot of people taking other people's identities and making it as their own. So we had a major issues in my community, the so-called Black American community, where there was a lot of immigrants taking our own identity. And when it comes to that, it also deals with our land ownership. It also deals with what we own when it comes to anything that deals with real estate wise or building wise or buses, those types of matters. So when I hear Native Americans speak about their history, this is my major question that I have for Native Americans, and it's not really pertain to what I'm saying. Is what war did Native Americans have to participate in America? What was the major wars that Native Americans had to face in America?
He's not Native American though. He's Samoan.
He's Samoan? I thought he was Native. I'm so sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Like I said-
Samoan.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Yes. I mean, we're
But he makes connection
dealing with
back to
trying to get our
Africa,
land back
though.
in Hawaii. I mean, they legalized. Yeah.
Oh, well,
I
that's
mean,
still a
like I
question
said,
I have for
we
Native.
can through
But
our chance.
when we come to
And then
Samoans,
through-
the Samoans, I know about the Pacific Islanders and what Hawaii. When the Japanese came into the islands, a lot of the Aboriginal people had mixed themselves with the Japanese and the Chinese and them that was coming into the islands, right? Especially I forgot the young lady name, who was the queen of Hawaii, right? It was a Negro lady that was the queen of Hawaii. Yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So from there, it's a lot of mixed Aboriginals and Japanese mixed people. How you doing?
Yeah, but we're still, we still have what we call, pure, Polynesian, pure Hawaiian blood, right? From the island of Ni'ihau.
Where?
The other islands, the outer islands.
I believe
The
that
only
they
ones that
always
really
hide the
intermingled were the ones with the
dark-skinned
plantations.
people. They always hide them.
Huh?
They always so the indigenous what I found is that they always hide the pure-blooded indigenous people, that they're not erased like a lot of us, like it seems. Because they're never in the media, we don't get to see them.
Right.
That's areas.
That's the propaganda, right?
That's not propaganda.
That is the propaganda. I mean,
that's
Maui, the
that's
smaller
not the
islands
propaganda.
still
That's
have the
what
indigenous.
everyone does.
I hate the word indigenous, but
it was melanated everywhere, and not beige.
And
they
hide
not yellow.
I agree with that.
So that's not propaganda. That's
I agree with
the
that.
way that everyone is done, from the Mexicans to the Samoans, to everyone.
Melanesian is everywhere.
Washes what the people look like.
The original. You call it propaganda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is propaganda.
Yeah, but like I said,
But the only thing though
you have
that
to
I don't
remember
understand about your culture,
that.
and I'm with Carl, you do
What was
have an
that?
absolutely beautiful culture, but one of the things I don't understand is there's I don't know if all of you feel this way, but I know some of you at least say, oh, actually you just said it, that we're all one people. But on that note, because I don't agree either, and probably for a little bit of different reasons. But I feel you when you're talking about the people of the earth. Yeah, we're all one people when it comes to the people of the earth.
Yes.
I agree with that. But there is, and we don't have to go into details because we all know there is another group of people because they act like foreigners everywhere that are not the same people, and some of them are different. Like Carl had, he presented a peaceful spirit, but for the most part, they have a completely different, they have a different lineage and heritage than us. They have a different biology, everything. And we're not accepting that. And I think that's how we got in this position right now.
I agree.
One thing I do know when it comes to immigration, when it does come to immigration, right, especially like I should say prior to the 16th, 1700s, there was a lot of people coming from the Pacific Island area into the Americas, right? And I don't think a lot of people look into the deeper part of the genetics, especially when it does tie to, your DNA part. You can actually download your raw data to upload to other websites that can link you back to like ancient bones and stuff like that. Because when we're talking about the Negro race was predominantly everywhere in the not in America, in the world, right? Especially the so-called equator tropical line. You'll find Negro people living in those areas. So like the Papuans, the Samoans, the Hawaiians, the Vietnamese, Thailand people, the Indian, the Hindu people, all the people everywhere, melanin everywhere. Whatever sun is out, you find melanin.
Indian.
So with that being said, we have to understand that when we're talking about history, when we talk about our great-great-grandparents, like our 20th or 30th grandparent, 9 times out of 10, they could be coming from a whole nother region than just only the Americans. And we got to understand when we talk about history, everything is worldwide.
That's a good point, sis.
I acknowledge all my ancestors, you know what I'm saying? Even if I got that small percentage of African, I got higher percentage European, Asian, I just acknowledge the fact that I hear and I know my history of where it add up to. Because my ancient history that go past the pre-colonial will be in the Caribbean and South America. And any admixture that add into that would be the Europeans, the Asian, that took their time into America. As time was going, they came into family and I mixed themselves, right? So that's only a small percentage of people. But my whole genetic, my whole ancestry would date back into the Americas.
Yeah, and
Samoa, I do want to say
I wasted $120 taking ancestry.com for them to tell me something that I already knew, that I was 100% from the South Pacific, from the islands and the region of Samoa, and I thought it was funny because
Samoa, I do want to say thank you for coming in and being
no, thank you guys.
Being respectful of the conversation, and being respectful to everyone's point
let
of
him
view.
finish.
I'm sorry, it's a little delayed. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just gonna finish real quick. I just want to say thank you for being respectful for the everyone's ancestry, everyone's speaking to the truth of who they are and not trying to shove something down their throat that they know not to be true. So I just want to say that. You go ahead.
My bad again. My internet's a little bit slow, but I wanted to address the prompt a little bit. I agree that I like the fact that we're starting to wake up, and after the debauchery that I saw today on one of the lives, how the Africans be making fun, like the Africans be mocking us and stuff. I really don't understand why they have an issue with us wanting to be Indians and be separate, because they really don't like us. I don't understand why it's an issue for us to claim our ancestors. Like they're really rude. So
I was on a panel earlier, and honestly, so this is my 5th account. My other ones have been banned because I've crashed down on them so bad, because I always come in super respectful So I come in respectful, and I try to educate myself on everyone's plight. So I know about what's happening in different places in Africa as far as like trafficking, as far as things like that. And I speak out against that because I'm a humanitarian at the end of the day. But what I witness on these lives, it's nothing more than just punching down or trying to punch down on Black Americans. And I specifically see other Black Americans on there. I'm using Black just for lack of better words. I see other Black Americans on those panels who base their proximity on what it is to be a proud melanated person off of their association with Africa. So they're okay with all the rhetoric. If you listen closely to what they are saying, they are spewing out, YT talking points. So I don't consider them brothers at all.
Right. Anybody that will like take the Native American side instead of the so-called, like I figure like it's kind of white supremacy when you want to take the white what they say versus what your own skin color says. I think it's really weird to me.
It ain't weird. It's either they are pan, I would consider them pan Africans, they're getting paid, or they're just still asleep. They just speaking out of ignorance, not knowing.
I love their agenda.
That's why I call them Asians.
Yeah. If you ever listen
Meaning
to
they are
those,
getting monetary gain to
Yep.
basically, go against their own.
Yeah, if you ever listen to their panel and their talking points, because people always say I come in and I cause chaos, but if you ever listen to what they kumbaya over, they all kumbaya over, oh, the Black Americans are lost, or they're a refugee in their country, or they have no culture. That's kumbaya for them. That's everyone getting along. So like when I come in and I take them to task and I challenge those things, then there's an issue. Then somehow I'm being hateful.
That's the victim role. They play victim because they don't understand. They don't even understand what it means when you say evolved. They agree that they evolved from a primate. So a lot of them don't even understand what they're saying. We were the first of humanity, human.
Yep.
Human, and that
Yep.
human is different from a human being.
Yeah.
When they say human, that equals a type of Homo sapien. There were several types of hominids.
Yeah, but
The
that
diversity.
evolving theory is evolution theory is I believe to be a lie. It follows a racist trope based off of Darwinism. And you're right. Like when they say that, they don't realize that they're calling themselves subhumans. Like when you look at the chart that they do now, because they didn't always do this, but when you look at the chart they do now, they show the original man being an ape-like melanated man, and that's like far from the truth.
For them, it's not though.
Yeah, I know.
For them, it's not. So they say what exactly. What I mean, when have they ever gave kudos to a melanated person for anything?